Welcome to Questext, a text-based fantasy adventure game. Questext is a text-based adventure game with turn-based elements. The player will be given a description of their surroundings and will enter a command, such as go around house, to perform an action that will update what they see and what has happened in the environment. The player will enter a variety of commands that would perform their actions, such as go around house, as previously provided for an example, but also open window would count for opening a window. They'd be able to open doors, different containers, and then they'll be able to go in and out through those doors and search those containers for the items that are in there. And then they'd be able to say take sword to pick up a sword. They'll be able to check their inventory, and then they can otherwise interact with the environment, such as turning on and off lights or inspecting for other clues. The antagonizing force of the game would be made up of several types of creatures that have an origin in a fantasy setting. This would include trolls, goblins, wraiths, and throughout the story, it would lead up to the player facing off against a ruling overlord. The game is similar to the Zork series of games for the Commodore and other Infocom games such as Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. It's also similar to the Lifeline series of games for mobile devices. And it has a combat system similar to that of Soda Dungeon for PC and mobile devices. While it's similar to all these other text-based games, it's also different as there will be an updating visual that would reflect what the player has done. So, for example, in the picture with the White House, if the player opens the mailbox would then be displayed that way, and if time passes and it's night, it would now be dark in the picture. It's also different as combat won't be done through typing in commands. It will now be done as a type of turn-based game similar to that of Soda Dungeon and early Final Fantasy RPGs. Novelties for the game would include the combat system, as most text-based adventures didn't have any other functionality other than typing in your commands. There would also be an original story that would appeal to readers that would like a choose-your-own-adventure style game. And it's also a change of pace compared to today's fast-paced 3D action games. Risks of this would include the number of choices that players would be able to make. The development team would have to account for every individual command that the player would be able to type in. So a risk for that would be the amount of programming that it would take. We as students may not be able to grasp the scope of this game. And other than developmental risks, there's the risk of not knowing whether there's a large market for this sort of game. As stated, today's gaming environment is more bright colors and fast-paced action in 3D environments.